At 4-4, 2/3 of the season has passed. Coming down to the home stretch here or whatnot, how bad do you want this team to get that taste out of their mouth from last Thursday and get some momentum going towards the stretch here?
Well, it's important. 4-4 puts a little pressure on us. We've got 4 left, and our guys know what we've got to do to get back to a bowl game, and we've got some really good teams left, so it's going to be tough.
Boston College, how do you get them to not look at the fact that they're 2-6 or whatever and not pay attention to their record and still go out here and give a great performance?
Well, I think we lost to Maryland, and Boston College beat Maryland, so that should tell our players something. And I think Boston College did a nice job on the last drive, had a great drive to win the game against a great Maryland defense. So if our guys understand that. I think there are a couple of really marquee teams right now in our league in Florida State and Clemson. You can maybe throw a couple other teams in there, but I think this is really a league where every time out you got to play to win.
As for Boston College, maybe talk about what they're bringing to the field, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I know Tommy had a lot of good things to say about them and how well they execute on defense.
Yeah, I think they're physical as usual. They're sound. They don't beat themselves, and I think if you look at what they did last week, they've shown a lot of improvement. They're getting better, and I think they had a great game against Maryland last week. And we know this Boston College defense is talented and they're very well coached.
Why are they always successful on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think they've got a scheme that they stay with, and they don't vary from year in and year out. I think Coach Spaziani was the defensive coordinator for years, and then when Frank got the head coaching job, they continue to run the same defense. So I think their kids, they've recruited to this scheme, and their kids are comfortable playing it.
How about the offense? How are they looking?
Well, I think they've got a quarterback that's got a strong arm as anybody we've played against, and a couple of receivers that are really, really special. The Amadon kid reminds you a little bit of Camp. I think he's averaged about 120 yards a game receiving. I think that a couple other receivers are dangerous guys, so they've got a big, strong-arm quarterback that's got a good group of guys to throw it to.
How good is it to have Camp back in your lineup, and what he will bring to the offense down the home stretch of the season?
Well, I think if we can get him enough practice time, it'll be good. I think last week coming back against Clemson was good, but he didn't play his best football, and he needs the practice time. So that's going to be the key. I think it's great to have Camp back. I don't think we're worried as much about his hand right now. It's just his conditioning and ability to get enough practice time in that he runs the right routes, blocks the right guys, those type things.
After having a Thursday night game, you get a couple extra days to prepare for this game. How different is that, and how much of an advantage is that for you guys going into this matchup?
Well, it's not as big an advantage as an open date would be to have more time off, but I think for us, helps us as a coaching staff putting the game plan together. I think it helps our players a little bit. We had a good break. We didn't do anything Friday. We had a good practice Saturday morning, and then gave the kids off a couple days. Had a pretty good practice last night. So, hopefully we'll be a little bit more prepared as coaches and have our kids a little fresher.
The kids obviously feel like they have to win out this year. They want to become bowl eligible, but they want to win out. Going into this matchup with Boston College, how important is it not to just get the win, but to perform well on both sides of the ball, in all three phases of the game?
Well, I think we've got to take care of Wake Forest. I think we know the next 4 teams that we're going to play are all good teams. They're all capable of beating us if we don't play our best football. But I think we've got a chance to win games if we play our best football. So I think that's the key. I think regardless of who we play, we know the next 4 are going to be tough. We're going to have to play great to win any of the 4. And certainly if we're going to win all of the 4, we've got to play at a high level. I think our players understand that.
A lot of expectations were put upon your defense coming into this season through the first 2/3 of the year. How do you feel they have performed? If you could give them a grade and what they need to improve upon moving forward.
Well, it's been a struggle actually. I didn't count on Morel Noel being hurt. We didn't count on Nikita Whitlock being hurt. We didn't count on the lack of production really that we've had at times offensively due to some of the injuries in the offensive line and the receiver corps. So I think regardless of what we felt like the defense could do as a team, we just had too many issues this year that have either kept our focus off football or have not had our best players on the field. And so I think from my standpoint, I think the defense has had its moments, but certainly not consistently. I think we're getting closer to being a healthy defense right now. I think we were last week or the week against Virginia. I think we're pretty healthy against Clemson, even though we didn't play real well. So hopefully we can stay healthy these last 4 games and play well enough defensively to give us a chance to win.
You've been at this for a long time. Where's your confidence level at in this team going down the stretch of these last 4 games of the year?
Well, I'm confident that we can win. I think you're week to week in college football, though, with the injuries. It's a time of year where a lot of kids have colds and flu and whatnot. A lot of times you're in midterm exams, you've got a lot of academic stuff going on, so you just got to go a day at a time in this business. You can't really look forward and have any kind of confidence or lack of confidence in how you might perform against any opponent, because every Saturday's different. The team you bring to the field each Saturday's different, and you're just hoping that when you're down the stretch in the last 4 games, you can bring your best team to the field.
I'm just curious, has your schedule been altered at all with this storm that came throughout this week or whatnot? And also, have you heard anything from Boston College in regards to their status or whatever with everything going on up there?
We have not heard anything. I think from our standpoint, the players felt like last night would have been a good time to call off practice. It was really windy and cold, and I don't think the players realize that it's worse on a coach when it's windy and cold than it is on a guy that's running around getting exercise. But we had a good practice last night. We'll have another challenging day today with the wind and the cold. But we need to practice, and I don't know what Frank's situation is up at Boston College right now. But I think they're a school that typically plans on weather this time of year because they're a little cooler than we are up there. So I'm really trying to focus on us right now, and haven't heard anything though from Steve Shutt or from our sports information people about any conversations they've had with Boston College.